right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's me. I know it's hard to see me because of this fucking shadow, but it's Noah. We're here on a great day on my YouTube channel once again. We have a very special treat. I'm very excited. First ever host. We got a featured speaker today, Nicholas, all the way from Gainesville. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Noah. How are you?
I'm doing great. Now, Nicholas, it's no secret to most of the people that know you that you have some very controversial opinions on certain games that are played by peers of yours, and I think you want to talk about that today.
Indeed. And I may ruffle some feathers today, say some things that people don't want to hear,
Yeah,
but truth needs to be told, guys. There are a lot of people throughout history who were hated in their time, but then later praised for how correct they were. You have Van Gogh, you have um I don't even know, Edgar Allan Poe, Abraham Lincoln even, Um
true.
so what I'm saying is the future is going to treat me like Abraham Lincoln and you guys are all going to be wrong. Um so yeah.
Good point. And ladies and gentlemen, I will be giving a slight input on some of these issues because Nick's a smart man. I do agree with a lot of his takes. He's very cultured. He was CEO of Good Game Commissioner until that was stripped from him. But there are some that I don't agree with. So, without further ado, let's get into it just to talk about, starting with some honorable mentions. Now, Nick, these are some games that don't crack the top 10, but you don't really appreciate these games.
Yeah, I'll go through them real quick. Fable, I've played once with Brian, just wasn't really hitting for me. Overwatch, always hated it. Battlefield 1, I know Ethan loves it, and I've never played it to be honest, so maybe it doesn't deserve to be on this list, but I just have a bad feeling towards it.
Yeah,
Warzone is hard and really annoying, and Fortnite is better. Deep Rock Galactic, the tutorial is too hard. Um,
yeah.
GTA is fun, but the heists suck. So I love, the racing and fucking around in the world, but the heists are stupid and making money in that game is pointless. And then UFC is fun when I can use Mickey LaFraud and do my head kicks, but without it, it's not a fun game.
These are some very good points. I have only played Fable once. I don't think it's that bad, but like the first one is pretty old and outdated. Overwatch is terrible and should be destroyed. Battlefield 1, I don't agree with Battlefield 1. Great game, but it is what it is. Warzone is kind of terrible. Deep Rock Galactic, I mean, it's all right. I mean, I only play it because Tony basically forces me to. I also agree, GTA heists are kind of overrated and a sham and take too much time and effort to make like what 400K. And then I mean, Look Me LaFraud is the greatest of all time, so I understand there. So just to briefly mention, I had some honorable mentions. This is Nick's list. This is him speaking, but I wanted to say something too because Nick doesn't have the same hatred I do to certain games. Listen, Chris, I love you and I love Red Dead Redemption 2. Online is terrible because I don't think there's much to do. I just rather play GTA. Stardew Valley is it's boring. It's mid and looking right in the eyes. I'm sorry. It's nothing. Terraria, I only played it like back when I was a kid. Terrible. It's not Minecraft. War Thunder, listen, we're not Robert Stans here. We don't care about War Thunder, let's be honest. And then Brawlhalla, the only two games Martin's good at. We do not care about Brawlhalla. We do not care. So these two pages are games that Nick doesn't really like too much, but not hate. Unlike the top 10, which we'll get to, and then games I don't really like that much myself. So Nick, let's crack into the top 10.
All right, let's do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so number 10, we have Wizards 101. This one, honestly thinking about it, may have deserved to be in the honorable mentions just because only one person here really plays it. Um, and I've never played the game, but the graphics aren't really that great. It doesn't look very fun. And I don't see myself ever playing it. But yeah, and especially in the big 2025, it says 2023 on there, but yeah, this game should be left in the past.
Yeah, I mean, we all remember seeing ads for this when we were like in middle and elementary school. But I mean, goodness, playing Wizards 101 in the 2025 is, and I know there's a certain someone who really is looking forward to this coming to console and for all of us to be playing it. Nick, will you be one of those people?
I will not, unfortunately.
That's big. That's really big. That's a big
I
deal. All
will
right.
add to this, the entire game is locked behind a paywall. And our friend who loves the game tells us about the deals, but I don't really,
The
I'm
deals.
not trying to pay monthly
You gotta pay
to be a
monthly.
wizard.
You gotta pay to be a wizard. So yeah, Wizard 101 at number 10. We'll move on to number 9. We got Age of Empires.
Yeah, so I played this game once. I can see the appeal, but I hated it. Too much of a skill gap,
Yeah.
and a certain someone who may or may not be the same person as who we were just talking about ruined the game for me by attacking me immediately when we first started and then blaming me for my faults. Also, the Mongols are not easy enough to play, and they
Yeah.
should be the best in the entire game, but they're not. So, maybe this game deserves a little more love than it's getting here, but yeah, not for me.
That's understandable. Age is extremely hard. I know certain people really like it. I want to get better at it. I don't mind it too much, but I definitely, when I get on when I turn this console on, I go, man, you know what game I want to play right now? Age. That almost never comes out of my mouth. So I understand the
I
hate.
do, I have respect for those who are good at it, but yeah, not for me.
Understandable, understandable. Let's move on to number 8. Destiny.
Yeah. So, Destiny is not a good game. To this dismay of some people here. The raids that everyone loves so much are too long, too hard, and not fun enough to make up for the time commitment. The game isn't enjoyable to play. Yeah, not much more to be said there.
Yeah, I mean, Destiny is. I mean, who's even playing Destiny anymore? Apparently me. But it's a toxic game. You have to pay a lot of money. I was lucky. I did spend money in this game. Guilty. A lot. Some other people did, but it was on sale. If you were to keep up with this game since release to now, you'd be spending, I don't know, well over $300 probably. So it's kind of insane. So yeah, Destiny deserves to be played. We love Destiny. Oh, Nick doesn't. All right, let's move on to number 7. Or big. This is a controversial one.
Yeah, I do feel a bit bad because the last like four have been kind of targeted a little bit, maybe, possibly. But Borderlands the graphics are not, they're just so bad. I can't get through it. I can't get through the animation style. For a story-based game that you're supposed to sit there like playing and grinding, it's just not like appealing enough. That you could play so many other games that don't make your eyes hurt and don't give you a headache, but this one does.
Yeah.
So it's a shame because it
And
has potential. But
Nick, the rumors are that this picture's from the movie. I heard you were a really big fan of the movie.
yeah, and it's shout out to our good friend Brian who told me he was a big fan of this movie and
Okay.
supported
Yeah,
everything about it.
that's what I thought too. This is a groundbreaking movie that arguably is better than the games, but that's
Mhm.
another video, another
I
debate.
did enjoy the movies more than the game, so
You heard it here first, folks. Let's move on to number 6, though. We got 2K.
yeah. So no love here. 2K is a terrible game that's never been fun ever. Actually, I'll give it some credit. It was fun when we were playing in the Pro-Am when we first all got the game, and I got to be my 5-6 person, and
Yeah.
that was a good time. But ever since certain people in the group got good at the game and got competitive, it became not fun anymore.
Yeah.
I think you guys spend too much money on this game
Yeah.
um, every year, and it's not enjoyable. The people who play it are too competitive, and it ruins all the fun.
I agree with you completely. I do find 2K fun, but at the same time, I kind of want to break everything in my room when I play it. And this is like an actual critique I have of 2K. It is a waste of money because I don't have 25. I have 2K24, I believe, and I also had 2K22, like with Luca, I think on the cover, 22 or 23. Point is, I went on it the other day. Obviously, the servers are closed, but so is Ultimate Team. You can't even go into it. If you paid any money for Ultimate Team and any 2K before, I think 23 and before, it's gone. You can't even look at it. At least in other games like, FIFA and stuff, you can go and look at your, like the older ones. Like, oh man, look at my Ultimate Team. It's so cool. You can't go to online matches, but you can't even play against the CPU. That is greedy. That's bad. And Mr. Ronald 2K needs to refund people money who spent hundreds, if not thousands, like Flight Reacts on those like My Team cards. It's crazy. So yeah, 2K's bad. But moving
Well
on,
said.
we're cracking the top 5 now. Nick, are you excited?
I'm very excited. I know that there's going to be some hurt feelings in the next 5 games, but it needs to be said.
I understand. Marvel Rivals.
Yeah. You know, Marvel Rivals is the combination of Overwatch, which I already hate, with superheroes, which I'm not particularly fond of.
Yeah.
You guys play the game too much. It makes you feel too good about yourselves because your rank is like relatively high. But the game doesn't look fun to play. And it takes you away from games that you could be playing that are much more healthy and fun and enjoyable. And I think everyone's going to agree with me on this one.
Everyone. I actually don't have the game installed on my console right now, so I'm with you on this. This game is basically it's like therapy, but the opposite.
Mhm.
It makes your blood pressure go up. You get very anxious, and you want to kill yourself by the end of the game. Typically, no one's happy, and there's a certain someone who reached the highest like rank who everyone has mixed feelings on, and he does. He's stroking his own ego a little bit, but I agree with you on your rivals rank, Nick. Very, you are a doctor. Congratulations on graduating, by the way. So
Yeah.
everyone, he has a PhD. That's this. All right, let's move on to number four. State of Decay.
Yeah, this is just a bad game all around. There's no saving grace here. It's you sit there and you watch your characters die and all you do is get resources and there's no end point. It's just constant. You're trying to survive and then when your people die, they die. The gameplay isn't even that fun to make up for it. Like I've tried it before, but killing the zombies isn't even that enjoyable. Exploring is not that enjoyable. You're always running out of resources.
Yeah,
I just don't see the appeal at all. It's just not like there. I play games to have fun, right? I think that's the philosophy that we should all be going into games with. I don't play a game if I'm not going to have fun playing the game. So I don't know why anyone would subject themselves to a game that's not fun for them. And I don't think this game should be fun for any of you. So yeah.
good point. And this game is pretty popular among a lot of people. Actually, a lot of people have put a decent amount of time into this game. And yeah, I don't get it either. I don't like kind of games like this where you have to kind of just stay on forever, building up, and for what, Um, I get it. It just seems like too much. Zombies also don't appeal me too much. They never kind of have, besides like The Walking Dead, which is a TV show. But yeah, a valid placement, number four. Oh, Nicholas.
I know some of you recoiled when you saw this, but it's true. It needs to be said. Friday the 13th is an objectively bad game.
Oh,
Jason is too overpowered. And my biggest gripe with this game is not the gameplay or anything like that, because I like silly games that are stupid and fun. The problem with Friday the 13th is that we have a better version sitting right there, and some of you still fight for this game, which isn't even playable anymore. I don't understand it. I never have. Dead by Daylight is better in every conceivable way. And there's no reason to ever play Friday the 13th, and we've all made mistakes in ever playing this game.
yeah, Nick. I mean, maybe not so wise, but a wise man once said, "Facts don't care about your feelings." And right here, Nick, I got this from Reddit. It was posted like 5 years ago. But still true to this day. It's not even playable, like you said. This is like the player count per like like every 40 minutes to an hour, and I mean you can see a huge drop off from a game like Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th. I think our friends mostly like this just because of like the you can have a large server of people, and it was everyone loves proxy chat, especially in 2025 now with games like that Repo game and uh, the other scary one. People love just being like, oh my god, speaking game chat. But Day by Daylight's better. It's more fun. It's got more interesting killers. And if it wasn't for this game, Jason would be in Dead by Daylight by now. Let's be honest about that. Like, oh, I want to play Jason Voorhees. If the creator of this game and the creator of Jason wasn't such a schmuck, he would be in Dead by Daylight by now. Then you would just have no excuse. No excuse. So, good
True.
point.
And
Good point.
and if you want proxy chat, there's always Phasmophobia.
Good point. Good point. I'm sure people are going to love that. Number two, For Honor.
For Honor is one of the worst games that's ever been created. You know how I know that?
Hmm.
Every single time that either I've played the game or any of you have been playing the game while I've been in the party, you've been unhappy. I have never once, not a single time, seen myself or any of us playing For Honor and being happy about our life decisions. I have seen some of the biggest rage moments, some of the most cursing, some of the most slurs being said from people playing this game. And I've never seen happy moments. And the gameplay isn't even fun. So it's not a fun game and it makes everyone unhappy. I don't know how anyone could enjoy this game. I am so sorry. Not really.
Yeah, listen, I'm actually back on the train right now. It's like, what's the saying? Fall on the wagon, off the wagon, whatever it is, like an addiction. I'm on the wagon right now, or I fell off, either or. I'm playing it again, and I'm enjoying it. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I would be lying if a game didn't ruffle my feathers a decent amount. It's extremely hard, and even if you're good, you can get ganked. Like more than one people can just start beating you up, and it's not fair. It's not. There is no honor in this game. And I think that's all you need to know. That's all you have to say. Everyone loves For Honor, though, Nick. We love For Honor, more or less. Number one.
Yep. So this is gonna make some people mad, but Ark is a bad game in basically every way a game can be bad. It doesn't look good. It's too
Yeah,
hard.
yeah,
Takes too long.
yeah.
At any point, your base could get destroyed. I've seen people in this friend group fight to basically to the death over this game. Brian and Josh didn't talk to each other for a while because of it. It divides friend groups. It makes people sad. It's too hard. It doesn't look good. I can't think of a single good thing to say about this game. I've tried it. It's just it's not enjoyable.
Yeah.
It has no redeeming qualities. And on top of all of that, when you guys get into an arc phase, it takes you away from what you could be playing for months or weeks at a time. You could be on good games, Rocket League, PGA Tour, Dead by Daylight, Fortnite, Phasmophobia, some great quality games that make us happy. But you choose Ark, and when you choose Ark, you choose it for a long time. So it's going to remain number one for a long time, most likely.
Yeah. I think the good news is, though, I think people are straying away. I'm 90% sure both Brian and Ethan deleted it to make room for, well, Destiny. So, you have to pick your poison. But, it's a big game, too. So when you choose to have this game, you are taking up almost 200 gigabytes of your storage. So get ready to play like for 5 weeks straight, get rated, and then never want to play it again until like a year later when you have an itch. I completely agree with number one ranking. I hate Ark as well. I think it's too complicated. It's not newcomer friendly. You can't just without no knowledge of the game start an Ark, especially with your friends who are going to be like, "Oh, dude, take this," and then they're going to tase you, and then they're gonna your body's gonna be limp, and they're gonna like put you on a pole and like torture you. So yeah, it's a bad game. Um, but Nick, I mean that's it. Those are your top 10 plus some honorable mentions. I mean, how do you feel?
I feel great. I think, people aren't going to be very happy with me. I know Chris is about to go into the chat and say that my hands don't work. But it needed to be said. You guys needed the truth. I'm so sorry, but it had to be said.
And two things before I let you go. And you said about the Chris comment. What do you say about the allegations that people are just going to say to you, "Get better at these games"? Like it's just a skill issue. These games aren't bad. You're bad.
Well, there's plenty of games that I'm bad at that I don't hate playing. Rainbow Six Siege is a perfect example. I'll go on and play some custom games, or even fuck around in ranked. And, I'm not good at the game. My controller doesn't work half the time. My
True.
hands don't even work on that game a lot of the time. But
True.
I enjoy myself most of the time when I'm playing that game.
Yeah.
So, just because I'm not good at games sometimes doesn't mean that the game is good. Um, you know, there's a those are not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, that's very fair. And the last thing, you mentioned a little bit during the slide or the last slide, but just once again, can you mention briefly? We don't have a slide for it, but you talk about the bad games. Can you tell us some good games that the people should be playing rather than any of these?
Yeah, listen, while the bad game list may be long and upsetting, there are so many quality games that we could all be playing together. Um, you can start with the stupid games that make everyone happy. The Gang Beasts, the Human Fall Flat. You could play some sports games, PGA, FIFA. No more 2K, no more, none of that, but better games, MLB The Show. And then there's games like Rocket League and Phasmophobia and even Fortnite for those who like shooter games.
Yeah,
And there's a lot of games that are not on the explicitly bad game list, but I don't enjoy them, but I play them. Every now and then I'll get on, an Apex Legends or something like that.
yeah,
So there's tons of acceptable games to play. As long as we stray away from these objectively bad games, I'm sure we will be all be happier and healthier because of it.
true, true. No words could be truer, Nick. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come here and talk about what needs to be talked about to the people. I'm sure there will be a lot of pleasant faces when this gets released.
Absolutely.
But everyone, thank you for watching once again. I know you will appreciate this video. You will enjoy this. You will give it a thumbs up. God help us. Um, and I'll see you in the next one for everyone watching. Thank you and have a great, wonderful day.